gonna tell you the story about my stalker. It's about 7 in the morning on a Sunday, and I'm actually traveling to my mom's house real quick because once a week we have a potluck with my mom and my brothers, and we come up with one meal, and then everybody just kind of, we all pitch in and take different shit, right? Well, I had borrowed my mom's roaster for my son's birthday, and today she's gonna make a brisket, so she wants her roaster back. So she texts me at freaking 6 o'clock in the morning to freaking take her dang roaster. Mind you, Saturdays and Sundays are the only days that really get to like relax, because we all work and go to school Monday through Friday. But no, she wants me to get up at 6 in the morning, get in the shower, and take her freaking roaster. So anyways, I had my freaking, what's it called? Defrosters on, because it's colder than shit over here. Anyways, so the story about my stalker. So this was in about, I think it was 2014. Yeah, it was 2014. And me and the father to my boys, so I have 2 boys, well, their father, me and him were kind of still a little bit kind of together at the time. And while we were having, like, you know, we were already going under. We were basically, oh shit. We were basically already like going under. So we had split up. And we lived in a little apartment, and we had split up. And I left. So I went to go live with my cousin for a while. Me and the kids, I got me and the boys, and we left, and he stayed in the apartment, whatever. We were still kind of like talking to each other and stuff, but we weren't like really like together. Well, anyways, so I kept meeting up to this guy. I would meet up to him like all the time. The first time that I met up to him was at Pizza Hut. So mind you, I wasn't with the father of my boys, right? So I was, you know, I used to spend a lot of time at my mom's house. Well, my mom's like, let's order some pizza. Let's order pizza. So I was like, oh yeah, let's order some pizza. Order it, I'll go pick it up. I went to Pizza Hut to pick it up, and I freaking run into this guy, right? This is the first time that I seen him, okay? So I ran into him, whatever, like I just seen him, like I saw him, he saw like me, like we kind of like glanced at each other, kind of, right? Like I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even pay attention, honestly. So I was just like, whatever. And then I was standing in line in front of him to get my pizza. He must have ordered pizza. My camera went off, and I don't know where I left. So anyways, he wrote me that Facebook message. And so, like I said, he's like, oh, you're so beautiful. I really want to get to know you. I love that you don't bash the father of your kids on social media, and blah, blah, blah. We're not even friends, whatever. Okay, well, me being all pendeja, all vulnerable and shit, because me and the father of my kids, dad, is freaking, the father of my kids, are having problems. We're not together. So, of course, us females need fucking attention. And so I, you know, gave in and replied. And I started talking to the dude. Whatever. And so I didn't think anything, you know. I was just like, this, you know, pastime make me not think about, like, my kid's dad and, like, shit like that. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna talk to him like this, you know, whatever. Like, I had no intentions of meeting the dude or spending time with the dude or anything like that. Just like somebody to talk to, so you don't think about, you know, other shit that you don't want to think about. So I was texting him. We started texting each other through Facebook Messenger. And then finally he texted me, and he messaged me and he asked me for my number. So I gave him my phone number. And so he started calling me. Like, instead of texting me, he was like the kind of person that liked to talk on the phone. So he would call me. So whatever, no big deal. I would talk to him. Like, he would call me, I would talk to him. And the conversations were always like pretty cool. Like, nothing like crazy or anything like that. Like, oh, how are you? Like, how's your day? Like, he would ask me like how my kids were, how I was doing, like shit like that, you know? Well, then one day he finally asked me if I wanted to go out and eat with him. And me, all fucking stupid, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go eat with you. Because at that night, my kids were gonna go stay the night with their dad. They were gonna spend time with him. Well, I had told him, I was like, yeah, my kids, I guess I was kind of fucking asking for it like a dumbass. And I was like, yeah, my kids are gonna go stay with their dad tonight or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, well, you should let me take you out to eat dinner. So I was like, okay, whatever. Fuck it. Like, what the hell do I have to lose? Like, it's just fucking dinner. I'm not gonna marry this dude. Like, and like, to tell you guys, I swear to God, like, he was not even like fucking good looking at all. Like, he was this short, stubby, chubby little like ugly fuck. Okay, so honestly, like, I wasn't not into this guy like at all. It was like a friendship type of thing that he took like way too far. So I went out to eat dinner with him, and we went to this little place. I think it was like a Friday night even, because my kids were going to stay with their dad for the weekend. And it was like a Friday night, and so I went out with him, whatever. Well, they play, like, there's like a DJ that plays at that place, like, at a certain time. We went pretty early, so, because we didn't stay for, like, no fucking DJ or, like, dancing and all that shit. It was just, like, dinner, and then as dinner was, like, about to end or whatever, we, the DJ was setting up when we were leaving. So it's just like, whatever. Okay, I went home. I was staying with my cousin at the time, so I went home, whatever. And I had to work that next morning. And he's like, come on, let's stay out. Let's, like, dance and stuff. And I'm like, no. Like, I have to work. Whatever, I have to work. So I went home, whatever, because I had to work in the morning. And I was the supervisor at Aaron's. So I had to open the store. Like, I had to be there early because I was the person that opened up the store. So I was just like, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to stay late. Like, I'm just going to go home. Mind you, like, I didn't have an attraction to this guy. What? So fucking ever, right? So, whatever. Like, I went on my day. A couple of days passed, and he would, like, always still call me. Like, try to send me text messages. And, like, it started getting, like, a little weird. Like, he would be, like, sending me, like, stupid, cheesy, lovey-dovey shit that I was, like, not into, because at that point in my life, I was not looking for somebody to, like, romance me. Like, I was dealing with so much shit with the father of my boys, like, some fucked up shit that I was like, I don't want, like, that's not what I wanted, you know? So I kind of, like, stopped answering his calls and stuff and, like, texting him back. I still kind of would, but, like, only when I, like, felt like it, or, like, when I was filling that void of, like, not having attention and shit, then I would, like, reply. And it was I would, like, reply very short, like, very, very short. I wouldn't say, like, very much. And hold on, guys, I'm, like, about to drive up to my mom's house. Her fucking road is all fucking muddy and shit. My car's all low. I gotta drive all slow and shit. What the hell? How come there's no cars here? Okay, guys, I'm gonna run in real quick, and then I'll be back in a few. Okay? Okay, guys. I'm back. So, let me just back out of my mom's house, and then I'll get back to my crazy story. gotta go to the grocery store, guys. I'm gonna make some potato salad. Potato salad. Okay, anyways. So yeah, I started like slowly distancing myself from this dude. And he just turned completely freaking psycho. Like psycho. Like, mind you, like, I didn't really like talk to him like that much or anything. And he would go to my work. He would go to my work and I would see his car drive up, and I swear before he even like got down from his car, I would run to the bathroom, and I had some coworkers that would be like, oh my god, he's here, and I would run to the bathroom and I would stay in there until one of them went and got me from the bathroom and said that he had left. It was like weird, like I didn't even want to see him or nothing, because he was like just, I don't know, like this weird vibe, you know, like something wasn't right. So I would like hide from him, and then like when I would get out of work, he would leave notes on my car or like leave flowers on my car, and I was just like not feeling that shit at all. So then finally, like this happened, it probably lasted for maybe like a couple weeks it was like that. And so it was like that for a couple weeks, and then one day, it was I think a Friday, and I was the manager, right? So I worked late. Like the delivery drivers had a delivery like somewhere far, like another town close to our town, but it was like a distance, and they left really late, and by the time they delivered and then drove all the way back, like we closed the store like at 8 or something. I was like 8. We closed the store at 8, but I couldn't leave because I had to wait for the delivery drivers to get back from their delivery before I could leave, because I had to let them in, I had to let them clock out, so I literally was just chilling in the store like by myself. I already had all the lights off. I was like sitting on one of the little chairs listening to music on my phone or something. And so I had already known what this dude drove, right? He drove this little car. Well, he also had a truck that I didn't know he had a truck. And so this night, the delivery drivers got there, whatever. There was no cars in the parking lot or anything like that. And so where I worked, there was an abandoned building. Not abandoned, but there's a building that Applebee's used to be in, and they closed Applebee's down. And so I had to, it was just like an empty parking lot. There's a building across from our building that there was like nobody, like nothing, you know, whatever. So anyways, I was leaving work and there was a truck parked in that parking lot, and I like didn't think anything of it, whatever. I'm getting in my car, like I had to let my car kind of warm up a little bit before I left, so I was just sitting in my car while I seen that truck, and that I could see that truck like coming to kind of like from that other little parking to like our parking kind of. I was like, what the fuck? So I kind of got scared and I backed up and I left. I didn't even let my car like finish warming up or anything, and I left. Well, this truck starts fucking following me, and I'm like, fuck, like what the hell? And I had to go to the grocery store before I went home. I had to go to the grocery store, and so I went to the Albertsons down the road, and the truck fucking follows me into the Albertsons. Okay, I get down, go into the store, while this dude, Frank, or whatever the hell I'm calling him, he's all of a sudden in the fucking store following me around, and I'm like, leave me alone. Like I asked him nicely, I was like, could you please just like leave me alone, like leave me alone. And he starts yelling at me in the fucking store, dude, like yelling at me, like I don't even know, like I don't even remember what he was saying. He was just yelling at me, and I was like, dude, like leave me alone. And one of the managers finally heard like him yelling, because it was like one in one of the aisles, and they stopped, and he saw them stop. So he took off. He took off walking like all mad or whatever, because he knew like he couldn't just stand there and like yell at me or whatever. So I felt relieved. I was like, okay, cool, like he's leaving, like whatever. And so I was like, oh, you know, whatever. I got in line, I checked out, whatever, and I walk outside and I go to my car, and he's standing at the driver's side door. Like he's standing, leaning up on my car, like so I couldn't get in the car. And when I saw him, when I walked out of the store and I fucking saw him there next to my car, like my heart like froze. Like my stomach fell out of my ass. Like I was afraid. Like I was like, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? Like what could he do? Like he is so capable of doing so much shit. It's already late. Like the lighting here isn't really like that good. And so I didn't like really, I was like fucking scared. Okay, well, it was a good thing that, so I'm gonna park in the parking lot. I just got to Albertsons. So it's a good thing that while I was walking from the door, my cousin and her husband just so happened to be needing to come to the grocery store at this time, that they turned into the grocery store and they saw me and they noticed that I was scared, and they kind of almost parked kind of by my car, but they saw my car and they seen this guy, and I'm telling you, like they already knew, like I had already been telling them like that he was like weird, like that he wouldn't leave me alone and things like that. And thank God my cousin's husband, he's also my cousin, but anyways, he gets out of his car and he's like, he parks his car fast because he's seen like this happening. And he gets out and he's like, are you okay, Cheech? Like, are you okay? And this guy like sees my cousin and he just like fucking runs to his truck, gets in and takes off. And I was like, oh my God. Like I was so fucking scared. I was so scared. Like I don't even know like what could have happened to me that night or what, like, because he was so weird. Like I don't know what he was capable of doing. He could have done fucking the worst to me. And I'm so thankful that they just happened to be driving up like when I was coming out of the store, because I don't know what the heck would have happened. But anyways, I asked them if they could, I waited for them to come back out of the store, and I asked them if they could follow me home. That just to make sure that this fucking idiot isn't like parked somewhere and like sees me and then like follows me. So that happened. And okay, at that time, and then I was talking to the father of my boys, and he's like, you know what, I can't afford to live in the apartment, like you could move in, you could just come and stay, you and the boys could come in here and I'll move out, and that way you guys have your own place. And I was like, cool, you know what, like I know I could afford it, I was able to afford it or whatever, because I was like making really good money. And so I moved back in, he moved out. And how this fucking guy knew where I fucking lived, how, I don't fucking know. He just knew, okay? Well, then he started fucking showing up to our apartment, like with me, while me and my kids were there. Like, even with my kids, and it was like scary. Like, I was like, dude, like, no, like, I didn't want him around my kids. I didn't want him to, like, know my kids or anything like that. Like, me and their dad were still, like, fresh, like, freshly broken up, and, like, still trying to figure shit, like, out, like, what was gonna happen, like, what were we gonna do, like, how are we gonna split up and shit. And he would show up, and finally he stopped. He finally stopped. Like, for a couple of days, he's like just completely didn't call me, didn't text me, like nothing. He just like kind of stopped for a couple of days. Then I don't know where I seen him. I seen him driving like on the road somewhere, like that I passed by him or he passed by me or whatever. And I was like, oh fuck, like I got scared. Like I just get this knot in my stomach just even thinking about him. And whatever, it was like nothing happened, like I didn't hear from him or anything. And then that night, he starts calling me, he starts texting me, like, blowing up my phone. Like, I'm not even kidding you guys, like, freaking 80 text messages from this guy, and I don't answer. And obviously, if you drive by my house, you know I'm going to be home if my car's parked outside. So he must have drove by and saw that my car was there. And at that point, I mean, it was just me and my boys. So we're already, like, and it was kind of late, so we were already in our room, like, laying down. Like, they were drinking their milk and stuff, getting, like, ready for bed, and we had cartoons on in my room. They were getting ready for bed, and, like, I could hear, like, knocking on my door. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I was scared. Like, I didn't even want to go check. So I didn't get up. I didn't get up, and I didn't go to the door. And I didn't get up and go to the door. And I freaking... So I was like, whatever. If I don't answer the door, he'll just leave. The knocking stopped. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, we're good. And then he comes around the fucking thing and starts knocking on the fucking door. I mean, the window of my fucking room. Like, whispering my name. Felicia, Felicia, it's me. Open the door. Open the door. I'm like, what the fuck? I just, like, at that point, I just, like, my kids were still awake and they looked at me. Like, what's that? Like, who's that? Like, scared too. And I'm just like, it's okay. And I get next, like, closer to them and I hug them. And then I was like, it's okay. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. And, like, I just held them. And, like, I could hear him, like, calling my name. Like, he only knocked a couple times and then I could hear him, like, wanting me to open, like, calling my name, trying to open the door. Like, trying to get me to go and open the door. And then he finally stopped. And he must have left because I didn't look out the window, I didn't go to the door, I didn't check if he was gone. Like, I just completely pretended like we weren't really there, you know. And I'm sure he knew that we were there because he could probably see the TV on. And I was just like, still like, no, like, I'm not gonna open the freaking door or whatever. And finally, like, little by little, he would stop, like, not text me as much or not try to call me as much. And then me and the father of my kids, of my boys, we were like, you know what, let's try and work things out. So we, like, he moved back in or whatever. Well, when he found out that me and him were back together, he started texting and calling my boyfriend. He started calling and texting him, and he was, like, just to cause conflict. Like, he would try and make us fight, me and him, like, me and my boyfriend. He would try and make us fight. And, like, it got so bad to the point where, like, my boyfriend, like, just wanted to beat the shit out of this guy, right? Like, he just wanted to find him and he wanted to beat the shit out of him. So, whatever. He finally just, like, got the fuck over it and left. Like, left me alone. He left me alone. So, I stayed with, like, my boyfriend for, like, a couple months, and then that's when we, like, split up and, like, went our separate ways or whatever. But, like, still to more recent days, like, so that had happened back in, like, 2014. And then my boyfriend now, we started dating in 2016. And so we got together and we went, like, out of town or whatever. And don't mind you, like, I have this stalker guy, like, blocked on all my social medias, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Snapchat, like, all of that. This guy, no, not my Snapchat. He was blocked from my Instagram and my Facebook. Because I didn't, at that point, like, Snapchat wasn't really, like, in or anything like that. Like, nobody really used Snapchat, or I don't even know if it was made yet. Well, in 2016, Snapchat was, like, a thing, you know. That's when it first, like, was like, oh yeah, everybody used Snapchat. So I had gotten Snapchat, and somehow this guy, okay, and his Snapchat name is Santo of Death or some shit like that, okay. Well, this Santo of Death adds me on Snapchat, and I'm like, I accepted it because I didn't know who it was. Like, okay, cool. Like, I wanted, like, all kinds of friends on Snapchat or whatever, so I didn't even know who it was, and I accepted it. Well, me and my boyfriend had went out of town to go to a concert, and this guy messages me on Snapchat, like, the most fucked up things, like, that you could think of. Like, oh, you're such a fucking hoe, or, like, you're just a dirty little fucking bitch, or some shit like that. And, like, I showed my boyfriend, like, we're fresh dating, and I showed him, and I'm like, you need to know, like, what the fuck follows me. So, like, I showed him, and, like, at that point, I fucking blocked him from my Facebook. I mean, my Snapchat. I was like, dude, I can't fucking. And then, like, so whatever, like, I completely blocked him. I hadn't seen him or anything like that for, like, the longest time. We live in the same fucking town, right? And the town's not that big. I didn't see him for a long time, and then I ran into him. I was with my boyfriend, and we ran into him at Walmart. I don't know that my boyfriend, like, knows what he looks like or, like, who he is or anything, but, like, we seen him, and he fucking followed us through, like, the aisles. Like, he would not, like, followed us, like, all creepy, but, like, he would try to go to the areas that we were, like, shopping in. And I was just like, oh my god. And, like, still to this day, like, we'll kind of, like, see him, like, out eating at a restaurant or whatever, and I still get this fucking gut feeling like he has completely left me alone, or, like, well, not that he can really bother me because I don't have the same phone number or anything like that, but, like, he can't bother me. He can't bother me, but I still get afraid if I see him in town, because he was straight weird. He was fucking obsessed with me, and I don't even know why. But I just want to tell all you lovely ladies not to be afraid. And if you feel like you're in a dangerous situation, ask for help. Tell people what's going on. That way, if something happens to you, or, like, you know, they know what the heck people around you, like, are looking for, like, because damn, it's crazy, like, how, like, that night, I don't know what could have happened to me, but I was just at the grocery store. Tell people where you're going. If there's somebody that's following you, or that's bothering you or bullying you, and you need to go out and you're afraid, please tell somebody where you're going. Please tell somebody where you're at, because you don't know. Nobody knows. And you have to be protected. You have to keep yourself protected. Well, guys, that's all for today. I gotta go into the grocery store and buy some stuff, because my man is probably really worried about where I'm at, because he's at home with the kids. And it's really early still, and I have to get shit done, so I still have to go home and get ready. I took a shower, but fuck, man, I look like death. Okay, guys, I hope you guys have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave comments down below if you want to hear more, or I really want to get into and tell you guys the story of the abusive relationship that I was in with the father of my kids, well, my boys, because it was an abusive, mentally, physically abusive relationship, and I don't know where we would be if I wouldn't have got up and walked away. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.